All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. We had a big update on Bitcoin today, so I want to go through what the miners did and what Bitcoin did and what trend is going on, because this is a part of a trend that I think I saw starting yesterday that seems to be developing. So I just want to update real quickly on what that is and see if it can keep going. So we cover Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel. If that is content that you're interested, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if you could smash the like button, I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot and it helps get these videos out to more people. Also, check us out over on Twitter. I just started getting active over there and I plan on giving more frequent updates over there. I want to start on the Bitcoin miner big board. First, I want to show you where this was at the beginning of the day. About a half hour into trading, I took a screenshot of this big board because it was completely red, and that did not make any sense to me at all. I felt very strongly that this day was going to turn around and turn green. So it actually did not get as green as I thought it was going to get, but it did have a massive turnaround. So you can see, a half hour into trading today, every single one of the Bitcoin miners was down quite a bit. Bitfarms was down 5.5%. Riot was down 2.8%. I mentioned those because we'll take a look at where they were at the end of the day. So that was early this morning. Let's go to the actual big board as of the end of trading today. That looks a lot better. This is mostly green. Again, I did think it was going to be even better than this, but you can see this was a major improvement from early this morning. Bitfarms ended up down 0.4 on the day, so that stayed in the red, but Riot, which was down in the red earlier, ended up at plus 7.9%. So they were the big mover on the day, but you can see Marathon was up 3%, DigiHost was up 5.5%. Most of the rest of these were in the green or just a little bit in the red. It looked like towards the bottom of the list where you'll see the newer Bitcoin miners, they did not fare as well today. So Stronghold was down 2.6%. Iris Energy was down 3.8%. I did do a video on Iris today, so I would check that out. It's a very interesting one. Mawson was down 2.7%. Cypher's down 5.8%. So again, some of these like Cypher, they're really not even mining yet. Those stocks tended to lag and struggle, but if you look more towards the top of the board where the established miners are, they were mostly in the green, a couple of which got very green today. Even with the dramatic increase in the day, the Bitcoin miners actually, other than Riot, underperformed Bitcoin today. Now, yesterday they overperformed Bitcoin, so I think what's happening is there's a little more stability in the Bitcoin miners than there is in Bitcoin. There have been some big moves up and down in Bitcoin, although we are trading within a fairly tight range. We just keep bouncing from the bottom to the top to the bottom. So Bitcoin miners seem to be less and less affected by that. At the moment, we'll see. That trend may not hold. So let's go over to Bitcoin and see what happened there today. This is Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. So you can see this circle right here. This is when the market opened. So when the equities market opened today, Bitcoin was just hanging out at this orange line. And as always, this orange line is where Bitcoin was when the equity markets closed yesterday. So Bitcoin was at about 19,635 at the close yesterday. It was still hanging out right there at the open today, but you can see from that moment, for most of the rest of the day, Bitcoin pretty much went up in a straight line. We had a little pullback in the middle of the day and then a nice run up. We then had another small pullback into the close, but we're still up 4.5%. So it was up as much as 6% in the middle of the day. So you can see the Bitcoin miners really did not perform as well as that. But again, if you watch yesterday's video, the reverse happened. I want to zoom out a little bit because we talked about a potential trend that was starting yesterday, and I think that is unfolding because it is some short-term bullish action, and I think we just started it today, and I believe there's more to come. Again, I have to say this is not financial advice, so please do your own due diligence, but I'm going to show you what the charts are showing and where I believe we're going from here. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. So you'll see for about a week starting on July 7th, this is the week preceding the CPI data, which came out yesterday, the inflation data. So you can see yesterday we had a 4-hour candle that candle wicked all the way down to 18,892. That was within 10 or 15 minutes of the announcement of CPI, which came in worse than expected. We were expecting 8.8. It came in at 9.1. We talked about that quite a bit in yesterday's video if you missed that. So we flash crashed down a little bit, but then really started to rally the rest of the day. So yesterday started out with massive down pressure. We dropped about a $1,000 right there in 15 minutes. And then we pretty much made that up the rest of the day. So what I want to look at is the RSI and the MACD, because something was forming yesterday and it looks like that has developed. So let's go through that. So the last time that we flash crashed was back on June 30th, back down into that 18,500 range. So you'll see the 4-hour RSI was oversold at that point. But from there, you can see we had a very nice run up. And in that time frame, you'll see Bitcoin actually was up over 20%, and that was really just in 1 week. So these are short runs, but it looked to me yesterday like we were setting up for something similar to this. And I think today it's playing out just that way. Now, this is just the first day, but it does look to me like we have about 2 weeks until the Fed announces their rate hike. So there's a little bit of a lull here in the middle. The market digested yesterday's CPI information much better than in the previous month, and we talked about that. So this is the 2-week window that I talked about yesterday. I thought maybe we could have a nice, maybe 15 to 25% run up. Again, this is not necessarily a shift to a bull market from here forward, but it just seemed like there was room for a nice relief rally over the next couple of weeks. And today, I think we did start that. So let's see if it continued. Another key thing that happened today. What happened today, you'll see here, we crossed over 50 on the RSI on the 4-hour time frame. We're at 57 right now. So these are where the runs happen. From 50 up to, maybe 75 or 80 is a typical run on the 4-hour time frame. So this is what we were hoping for. We went from a low yesterday of 42 to 57 today on the 4-hour RSI. So that is the exact move we were looking for. So I'm hoping this is playing out the way we want it to. The other thing was, yesterday when the market closed and we made our video, we were at this point on the histogram, and we talked about how we were almost at zero but still in the red, and we were hoping for a bullish crossover. So you can see right after that, the very next candle, we did get the bullish crossover we're looking for, and we're starting to build a little bit of momentum on the histogram. So this is all exactly what we were hoping for. So it's only 1 day, so it's certainly way too soon to call it on this, but this was the day that we were hoping for today. And to me, this leaves the trend in place to potentially have a nice 15 to 25% run up in Bitcoin over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So lastly, we'll just take a look at the 1-day time frame. Remember, last month, this day was the day we had CPI data, and it was a very red day, and this red day led to all of these days with downward pressure. Bitcoin went down about $10,000 in the week after that. However, this time you can see, I drew a circle around these two green candles. That was yesterday when we got the CPI data, and today. So instead of like last month where we cascaded down with red candle after red candle, we are building some momentum this time. Lastly, to finish it out, I just want to look at the RSI on the 1-day time frame. If you remember, we had this nice run up from the beginning of May until the beginning of June. So the RSI went from oversold just to neutral. We hit 51 a couple of times here. We got rejected and didn't really end up having a nice run. So we pulled all the way back, reset. This yellow arrow is just an exact copy of this yellow arrow. So what we were hoping for is a similar run up this time around. So it looked like we were maybe falling off track 2 days ago. On July 12th, we got as low as 34 on the daily RSI, but we are now up to almost 45. So we're approaching that 50 level again. So I'm hoping we go test that 50 and get over it. That would even further potentially extend our little 1 to 2 week run up in Bitcoin. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for the next 24 hours. What's going on the RSI on the 4-hour time frame? What's going on the RSI on the 1-hour time frame? We want to see that stay over 50 on the 4-hour, get over 50 on the 1 day. And lastly, very importantly, you'll see today's candle opened, and unless something drastic happens, will close all above our very important line of support at just under $20,000. Pretty much everything that we ran down in yesterday's video that we hoped would happen did happen today. However, again, I have to warn you that that is only 1 day. So that is a very nice start, but we're going to keep our eye on this. If things go our way, we may get a 1 or 2 week run here in Bitcoin. So that remains to be seen. Obviously, this is not financial advice. Please be careful with Bitcoin. You guys all know this is extremely volatile asset, and as a function of that, all the Bitcoin miners are extremely volatile as well. Remember to subscribe and smash the like button, and check us out over on Twitter. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.